I'm Nora, and welcome back to Novels with Nora. Today, we are going to be going over my most anticipated releases of 2025. I feel like 2025 is going to be a big year for releases. There are a lot of books that I'm really looking forward to. I believe I have 16 to share with you today, so let's just dive right in. I will be going in release order, so starting with earliest and going through the year. So let's just get started. First, releasing on February 4th is Wings of Starlight by Allison Saft. And this is for all of my Tinkerbell girlies. This is the love story of Lord Mallory and Queen Clarion from Secret of the Wings, the one with the winter fairies. Yeah, we're gonna eat this up. Queen Clarion, their little romance. Oh, I'm so excited for this. I don't even need to know anything else. I saw Tinkerbell, I said, yes, I'm in. Yes, I am in. So that's our first release. Next, releasing on February 5th is All Shall Mourn by Ellie Marney. This is the third book in the None Shall Sleep sequence, as it is called. And the first book is about this girl who is a teenager, and she was held captive by a serial killer, but she was able to escape. And then a boy whose dad was murdered by a serial killer, and they get recruited by the FBI to help profile serial killers because they want their perspective as people who have had encounters with serial killers. And this is the third book in that series, so I'm really excited to see how that series wraps up and what will be happening with the characters now. On February 18th, we have Hungerstone by Kat Dunn, and this is kind of like a Carmilla Dracula retelling about this woman, Lenore, who is married to this man, but their marriage is very unfulfilling for her, and they haven't had a kid, which is like what she's supposed to be doing. So their marriage is just kind of falling apart. And then her husband moves her to the countryside for like this big hunt that they're going to be doing. But then this carriage mysteriously appears and this woman is there, and the woman's name is Carmilla. So sounds sapphic, sounds vampiric. I'm quite looking forward to this one. Truly, I was reading the description for this and I was like, yeah, that's for me, thank you. I have Carmilla on my TBR for this year, and I'm really looking forward to getting to that. So I think this is going to be the perfect place to go after that. On March 18th, we have, I'm sure, what is a lot of people's most anticipated release, Sunrise on the Reaping by Suzanne Collins. I'm sure you already know what this one's about, but it's about the 50th Hunger Games, which is a quarter quell, and it's speculated this is going to be from the perspective of Haymitch and his games. So obviously, really looking forward to that, especially because it's already been confirmed that there's going to be a movie adaptation of this one. So super excited for that. On April 8th, Cold Eternity by S.A. Barnes is releasing, and she has been a hit or miss author for me. I absolutely loved Dead Silence from her first book. Ate it up, my favorite book of the year, like absolutely loved it. And then this past year, I read Ghost Station and didn't love it. It was in my bottom 5 books of the year. So we'll have to see what Cold Eternity brings us. But this is about a woman who is on the run, and she thinks that a perfect place to lay low will be the ship that is holding the cryogenically frozen bodies of like Earth's wealthiest citizens. And so she should technically be the only one on this ship who's, alive. However, she starts to see things and hear things, and she's not quite sure if it's her going crazy or if the ship's doing something to her. So I'm really looking forward. This sounds more like Dead Silence than Ghost Station did, so I'm really looking forward to this. I think there's a high chance that I will really enjoy this. On April 22nd, we will be going to get Eat the Ones You Love by Sarah Marie Griffin. This is about a woman who finds a help needed sign on a local floral shop, and she takes the job. However, because her life is falling apart, she decides to take the job. And the woman working there, she kind of falls in love with her, and it's kind of a story about obsession. Like it says, this is a story about possession and monstrosity and working retail. It is about hunger and desire and other terrible things that grow, which sounds absolutely fantastic. But she's working in this florist shop, but there's this plant, and it seems like we might be getting the perspective of the plant, who's absolutely obsessed with the woman who runs the shop and kind of wants to eat her. So I'm really looking forward to that, and we'll see how that goes. April 24th will bring us Captain of Fates by Catherine Weber, and this is a continuation of the Twin Crowns series, which the books were in my top 5 of this past year. So I'm really looking forward to this. This is about one of our main characters' brothers. He is like a captain of a ship, and in the main series, we heard him kind of being obsessed with mermaids, and this seems like it's going to bring us closer to that obsession and maybe even having an encounter with mermaids. I'm sold. I'm in. I'm ready. On May 20th, we will get the release of The Starving Saints by Caitlin Starling. I think this one is on a lot of people's most anticipated release lists. This is about this castle that has been under siege for 6 months, and just as they're thinking about, maybe killing some of the people in the castle to help keep their stores lasting longer, their like saint lady comes in and like saves the day, and the entire castle just kind of descends into madness and they forget that they're under siege. And it's the story of 3 women who are realizing, you know, something's not quite right here, and so we'll be following their story as they kind of unravel what's happening in this castle. Moving into June, on June 10th, we will get A Botanist's Guide to Rituals and Revenge by Kate Kavari. This is the 4th book in the Saffron Everly mystery series. This is a series that I picked up on a whim from my library and just absolutely fell in love with. It is about Saffron Everly, who is working in Oxford, I believe is the school. Don't quote me on that, but some like British fancy school as a botanist, and she's following in her dad's footsteps. But this is like 1920s, like women are not really in academia in that way, so she's facing a lot of pressure in that way. But also she's following in her dad's footsteps, so she's also dealing with people thinking that she's just there because of who her dad was and not because of her own merits. And then she's also solving mysteries and murders and getting herself into a whole bunch of problems, but also falling in love. And it's just a great mystery series, and I'm really excited to see where the characters go next. June 17th, we'll see the release of A Fiery Spirit by Kate Chen Lee. This is the sequel to A Bright Heart that was my first read of 2024, and I really enjoyed it. It is about a girl who dies, but then she like pleads to the gods to get a second chance, and she does get a second chance to figure out who murdered her and why. And it was a really interesting story because like she knows what's going to happen in her life. So seeing her make choices to then change the course of fate, pretty much, super interesting. And I'm really excited to see what the second book brings. Also on June 17th is the release of If We Survive This by Raquel Marie. This one is about a girl with OCD and like intense fear of death and dying. And unfortunately, she's put in a horrible situation as a like rabies outbreak that turns people into pretty much like zombies has struck and is tearing everything apart. Her mom's dead, and it's just her and her brother. Her dad's missing, and she goes on this trip with her brother to a different part of the States to try and find a place to live that's not overrun with these rabid zombie-like people. And I love zombie stories. I think that they're really fun, and I feel like there's always something new to be done in that genre. And Raquel Marie is the author of Ophelia After All, which I really loved. I don't typically like YA contemporary, but I really love that. I really love her writing, so I'm really looking forward to that one. On July 29th, The Treachery of Swans by A.B. Poranek, I think I'm saying that right, comes out. And this is a sapphic retelling of Swan Lake. I'm not familiar with Swan Lake, but this sounds absolutely fantastic. It's about this girl who was impersonating the princess, but then something happens and she has to find the real princess, and they have to work together to go on some type of quest. And of course, they fall in love, which is absolutely amazing, and I'm really looking forward to that. Moving into August, on August 12th, we will get the next Samantha Downing release called Too Old for This. And this is about a woman. She's older, and she was a serial killer, but she has retired until a journalist comes knocking on her door asking questions about her past, and she's contemplating whether or not it's worth doing one more kill to just put everything behind her. This sounds really interesting. I've read everything else that Samantha Downing has put out, and I've enjoyed most of them and really loved some of them, so we'll see what this one has in store for us. Lady Dragon by A.M. Strickland comes out on August 26th. Both other books by this author have been 5 stars for me, so I'm really excited about this, and I don't really want to know too much about it going into it, so I haven't read the synopsis yet, but I know it's about like this war-torn land and dragons and queendoms, and then like 2 people who have to like make their way as new leaders here. That's all I know. That's all I want to know. I'm really looking forward to this, though. Next, we have one that I'm sure everyone has on their anticipated releases, and that is Catabasis by R.F. Kuang, coming on August 28th. This, I am really excited about. I've read Yellowface and Babel by R.F. Kuang, and both were 5 stars. I have yet to read The Poppy War. That is something I really want to do this year. But this novel is about 2 academic rivals who have to go down into hell to find their mentor. Sounds absolutely fantastic. I know R.F. Kuang's writing. This is going to have such great themes and messaging, and I'm just really excited to read this one. I don't even really need to know more than that, but I am really looking forward to the cover reveal for this one. Finally, on September 16th, we will get Among the Burning Flowers by Samantha Shannon. This is in the Roots of Chaos series, which is A Priory of the Orange Tree and then A Day of Fallen Night. I have not read A Day of Fallen Night, but I absolutely loved Priory of the Orange Tree. Really, really fantastic book. And this is taking place before both of them, and I'm really looking forward to this, especially with who it's following and what is going to be happening there. This is about like the fall of Yiskelen. think I'm saying that right, not entirely sure, and the people who live there and how it gets to be the place that we see in The Priory and A Day of Fallen Night. So I'm really looking forward to reading this one. Also does not have a cover, but again, really looking forward to the cover because the cover of the other two and all of Samantha Shannon's books are absolutely beautiful. So I'm really looking forward to that. And those are all my anticipated releases for the year. I'm sure that there will be more later in the year. These are just the ones that have been announced so far that I'm interested in, but I will be keeping you updated on as I read them and if they live up to the hype that they have, which I really hope that they do because all of them sound so absolutely incredible. So those are all my anticipated releases so far of 2025. Let me know if you have any anticipated releases or if we have any in common. Okay, thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!